That's the air temperature at the start of the session, which is not bad considering there's a slight northeasterly wind blowing this week. And we've got some cold rain coming down. And that's the margin water temperature, which is quite inspiring actually. It's running out of excuses. Spring is definitely beginning to show itself, but it doesn't feel like it temperature-wise. And this cold rain isn't helping the cameras at all. Beginning to get used to the one-handed operation of the dot spot quite well now. Really beginning to like it. I like the way you can lay it down on the water reasonably quietly and still get it to release. Somebody on Facebook was asking me about the line connection point, whether the braid was biting into the plastic. Well, this is the third session, and although I haven't been chucking it very far, it hasn't marked it at all, so it looks quite good. But as I said before, longevity is the key to these things. I have got one of these new air bombs to try out at some point, but from what I've seen on social media, it doesn't look very good at the moment. Half expecting a piece of wire on the end of a leader to come back without the plastic. Can't wait to give that a go. Well, we're coming into dusk on the second evening. It's absolutely freezing. Take my hands out of my pockets, my fingers go numb. Or is that old age and poor circulation? I don't know, either way. We still haven't caught anything. I still haven't seen anything. And it's getting depressing. Don't know what's going on, but there seems to be some strange yellow thing in the sky. No idea what it is. Look at that. Last time I saw one of those was 2004, when they were doing their final tour without Sir Cliff. Well, this is the start of the second session in April, and it'll probably be the last one. Next week I've got super duper medical appointments, so that'll be April out of the way, and then we're back into May. At the moment the water temperature is up, it's 10.7. No excuses at all there. The air temperature is ridiculous, 16.5. Hasn't been anywhere near that for months. And the sun's actually out. Don't get to see that down here much. Anyway, we've got a couple of nights. It's very busy down here, a lot of people down. Obviously the weather has inspired people to come out. Haven't seen anything as yet. Managed to slot into a reasonable spot. Keep your fingers crossed, and if I don't catch it, I think this will be the last trip on this syndicate for a while. We'll move off and try something a bit different, and hopefully we'll get a change of luck. But we'll remain positive. We've got to catch. The weather's perfect. They should be moving around a bit more than they have been. No excuses. Not anymore. Well, as you can probably see, I've moved one of the rods. I did have a rod on the right hand margin, but I spoke to the owner last night, and he said a couple of fish had come from the left hand margin. Typical for me to have it wrong way around. So I've moved one of the rods into the left hand margin, and needless to say, nothing happened last night. But it's always good to follow the best advice you can. And to be perfectly honest, I'd skip gaily through a nettle bed if I thought I was going to get a run. Right, I thought I'd give you the heads up on a light system that I've been using for a number of years now. It's called a Tiger light. They're designed for putting on music stands. I came across them years ago when I was playing in a band. And they run off 3 AAA batteries, or you can plug them in to a charger port on USB lead and run it off that. There's two different varieties. This one in particular has got one LED on it. I've got another one in the back of the bivvy that I use on top of my evening cookware, and that's got two LEDs on it. This one sits at the front of the bivvy on a Tracker canvas bucket. Yeah, that's how old I am. Canvas bucket from Tracker. As I say, there's by a company called Tiger. I get them from a company called DJ Music, and at the moment they're $7.99, which is virtually half price. You've got to appreciate that they're actually made for a music stand. They're not made to be outside. They don't like getting wet particularly, but if you keep them inside the bivvy and keep them dry, it's not a bad little lighting system. It's enough for me to bait a hook by. It's enough for me to fiddle around making coffee by. I mean, if it's really gets serious and I've got to put a big light on above my head, I've got a TFG lighting system that's magnetically fitted to the top of the bivvy. But there's also a red gel over that to try and minimalise the brightness. But if that goes on, it looks a bit like a tart's boudoir, to be honest, in Amsterdam. So I don't put that on too often. So there it is, Tiger Light. Well, that strange yellow object that was in the sky yesterday seems to have well and truly disappeared, and we're back to grey, grey, and more grey. In fact, it's not even cloudy, it's just grey. Okay, here we go. I feel like chicken tonight. We warmed up the water a bit. We're going to steam the Chinese vegetables. Okay, having steamed the vegetable in minutes, we can add the Chinese noodles. Give them a steam for a few minutes. Every couple of minutes you just need to turn it over so you're getting the heat working from both sides. Okay, right, well, once you're happy that the noodles are warmed through nicely, you add the pre-diced chicken. And we'll just keep turning that chicken around, because we do not want any pink flesh left. That chicken is like 99% cooked, and will finish cooking when I add the sauce to it. So I've tried doing this with the larger ridge monkey, the compartmented one, and quite honestly I think it's too heavy. You can't keep the lid on it. The lid keeps flying open. You can't keep it balanced open like this one, and it's just, I know I'm getting old and weak, but it's just too big for me to handle. And when you're happy that the chicken is cooked through and there's no pink left there, you're all done. Now you can either eat it out of that or put it on a plate. To hell with the washing up, we'll put it on a plate. There you go. Chinese vegetables and noodles with chicken and black bean sauce. Can't go wrong, really. Well, that's the end of my 48 hours, and not a bleep, apart from being cut off by pipe, which is a bit annoying and upsetting because you're leaving rigs in the water, but you can't do anything about it, really. Apart from this morning, when one or two fish are beginning to show, I haven't seen a thing. I've just heard on the radio that the motorway is partially closed because of overrunning roadwork, so I can't get home anyway. Do I stay a little longer and hope for the best? Today's supposed to be warming up. Or do I go home as I'm supposed to go home? I don't know. I'm being drawn to stay. I think I might for a little bit anyway. Let things dry out. Save me doing it at home. Hope something happens in the next hour and we'll make a decision then. Well, I stayed the extra night and it was another quiet night. Didn't hear much in the night in the way of fish boshing out or anything like that. There's been a few small ones topping this morning, but not over the baited area. So we're going to wait for the motorway to clear and head home again. So until the next time, cheers.